confusion is the enemy of sales. Then nobody's going to understand what they're buying. They kind of see that like it's not enough, but they also want to make it as easy as possible for you to participate in and for you to get them that money. The problem that the NBA solve is entertainment. The way that you look at it is by the access that you have.
You have helped me tremendously. You are my brand A&R.
That's a fact.
So if you have a brand, if you have a business, if you want to start a business, this guy right here is the person that you need to be tapped into. And what is a signature offer? I need you to give us just 2 more steps.
I'm free. I'm free. Won't let the enemy get the best of me. And I'll be what you created me. This is my destiny.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Purpose of Everything podcast, where we plant, pour, and push you into purpose. My name is Q, and today I have a super special guest. So, bro, let me tell you real quick, man. Usually, when I do these podcasts, I have my guests introduce themselves because for some reason, people just don't know how to introduce themselves. They get nervous. They get scared.
Yeah.
They don't know how to highlight themselves, right? So I want that to become a normal here on this podcast. So I'm not going to tell the people who you are. You tell them who you are.
All right, cool. My name is produced by Pac. Also Charlie G, whichever one's cool. But yeah, I call myself the brand A&R. I help individuals with businesses, entrepreneurs with their copy, their messaging, the aesthetic of their brand, and also how they express it through like marketing campaigns and everything that it has to do with branding and executing on your branding.
Bro, so you said brand A&R?
Brand A&R.
All right, we're going to unpack that. I want to teach the people today. I want the people to really learn because this brand A&R, it sounds something, I haven't really heard it before.
Right.
So I'm probably going to be asking you a lot of questions.
Right.
So brand A&R, all right, what is a brand A&R?
I have like a background working in music.
Okay.
So it's really taking the idea of what A&R is for a record label. They find the talent. Hey, I have to cultivate this talent. I have to develop this talent before we put them out the market. So I've noticed that I've had a lot of friends, a lot of close people that I've worked with in the past have like really untapped potential or untapped talent or something where they can elevate some of their ideas. And what I find myself doing is kind of being that back person and behind the scenes that's helping them put together their marketing campaigns, putting together what their aesthetics look like, helping them with the concepts of their projects and their albums. So as a brand A&R, it's more so developing those people that I'm working with directly.
So are you dealing with like design, aesthetics, graphics? Like, are you dealing with like just the whole brand as a whole? So like I have a business and I want to come to you for services. What are you giving me? What are you helping me with?
Right. So it is a little bit of aesthetics as well when it comes to branding, graphic design. But it's also the reason why you do what you do. Like identifying what is your, what I call like signature offer.
Okay.
Developing that one offer that you have, like McDonald's has the Big Mac, Burger King has the Whopper, Wendy's had the Baconator, or the Dave Single, or whatever the case may be. Like, how do we develop one product? What do we want it to look and feel like when we launch it, and what's the strategy behind it, and how to get people attached to what I call like a movement.
Why is it important for us to like put this type of work into our brand?
Yeah, so this is what I've come to realize and what I've noticed throughout the years. A lot of times when, we finally develop something, we're ready to put it out the market, we don't know what to do next. So what happens is we'll post a link. Hey, buy my new shirt. Hey, listen to my new song. Hey, I got some candles or whatever the case may be. And they get kind of discouraged or they kind of see that like it's not enough. That's not enough to get people engaged. That's not enough to get people, even if somebody I want to support you starting your business or whatever the case may be, but how do you sustain it afterwards?
Yeah.
They bought it from you one time. They already kind of did you a favor. Like, are they really interested in what you got going on? Are you really talking to identifying your ideal audience, your tribe, your people that you're trying to serve? Or are we just kind of like begging for attention and we get mad when the results isn't there, when a post didn't go off or you don't see as many sales that's coming in your Shopify store or whatever you got going on?
That sounds like me, bro. When I started my t-shirt company, I I thought all my family was gonna just like buy my stuff. Then after they bought it, I didn't have any more customers. It was just like,
Right, like you ran out, right? Because
yeah,
they felt like even if they did like it, but it was like, how do you nurture that to keep it going
yeah,
and to get people to come back, right?
that's tough. I don't know. That's why you're gonna help us today. So
Sure.
if you had to give us like a step by step guide on how we can build our brand,
hmm
what will be the first step?
Well, the first step is like starting internally, right?
Okay.
Because everything we do internally is it's expressed through the external. So, like, what I mean by that is if you don't know how to identify what you're selling, identify your offer, you don't know how to articulate it, then nobody's going to understand what they're buying.
Hmm.
So, like they say, confusion is the enemy of sales.
Confusion is the enemy of sales.
So, like, have you ever been somewhere and you was like, yeah, I wonder how much this costs, and they give you a whole rundown and they give you like 12 different prices, and now it made your whole decision even more complicated.
Yo, all the time, bro.
Like, let's say for example, like you pulling up to a cookout
Uh-huh.
and you looking at the menu and there's so much stuff on the menu. You know, it's a proper business, but like at times, especially starting off, if you don't have that brand recognition, that could turn people off. It's like either I'm not gonna buy anything, I'm confused, I don't want it anymore, I'm about to walk away.
Okay. So the first thing we need to do is fix ourselves or work on us internally.
Right, and what that means is more so one, how do you articulate your offer? So we call that like a brand statement, something that you can put in a bio. So like when they come into your page, they come into your social media or whatever the case may be, they know why they're there.
Mm.
Like it shouldn't be any confusion of like what this page is about or what you have to offer. Like it should be very clear cut.
Just like how in the beginning of the podcast, you said, your name, you introduce yourself, and then you was like, I help people do A, B, C, D.
Right,
So is
right.
that what brands are supposed to do when they want to be super clear about their
Absolutely.
messaging?
So, like for instance, like mine, right? Is I help entrepreneurs create, develop, and present a signature offer. So that's pretty much my I help statement. It's something really clear, straight to the point. Something to okay, that sounds like I need that. I definitely need help creating a signature offer. I need help developing it. I also need help presenting it once it's ready to go out to the market.
And what is a signature offer?
And a signature offer is pretty much your main thing. So like it's a lot of times where like people get into business and it was like, yeah, I got this business over here, I got this business over here, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, and everything that's unfocused. And it's hard to build something where you have like you're doing so many different things, even if it's in the same brand.
Mm.
So like for instance, let's say like the signature offer, right? Here's an example. The NBA.
Okay.
The signature offer, the main thing they want you to do, they want you to come to the game and watch the game in person.
Wow.
That's their signature offer. It's the actual NBA game. How do they monetize that in a lot of different ways and keep it going in promotion? A lot of that is TV. They license out that same game. You can watch it at home if you're not able to watch it in the building.
Mm.
And able to make income on that.
Wow. So if you had to like give like a breakdown, and we're gonna get into the other steps because you gave
Right.
us step one.
Right.
But if you had to break down like the NBA's brand strategy,
Right.
like what does that look like?
Well, the way I see it is, for them, they want to be able to be as visible as possible, put out a really great product of like, competitive games, get people emotionally invested in it, but they also want to make it as easy as possible for you to participate in and for you to get them their money. So that's by the way of promoting new stars. That's by way of celebrating the old stars. That's by way of making sure that certain teams are being played on TV. That's making the season interesting because you got 82 games. How do you make it count? Some of the things that they've been doing lately is the in-season tournament, where you have a tournament within the season that's part of the regular season, but something to give more stakes of the non-interesting parts of the regular season, which is like the beginning parts. So like, how do they make the best product? Is one of their brand strategy. How do they get more visible? Meaning, more people to see, hey, come out to the game because this happens at the games.
Dang, that sounds like it correlates a lot to us as brands.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we should take those same type of steps when it comes to us doing our own thing. It's like nothing different. Every brand has some type of person strategizing and helping them push it even more. So if we have a brand, we can't just think we create something and then that's it.
That's it. Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to have a intentionality is everything. So you have to have real intentions of moving forward when you're trying to build, a successful brand. So the first thing is we talk about, steps.
Yep.
Is identifying what you offer and how to communicate that to your audience. The next one is actually like the actual offer, like having a quality offer, like
All right.
let's say an irresistible offer at that.
What is that about? An irresistible offer. How do you?
So like an irresistible offer is something that is when you buy it, you feel like you're getting a bargain or you're getting a deal. Because every time we buy something, we never most times we don't buy things because we feel like this is worth $10. We feel like what I'm getting for this $10 is greater than the $10. So like for instance, if you needed a pack of pens because you're at work, you go to the store, you buy these pens. Let's say the box of pens is for let's say 150 pens is $10.
Why you feel like you got mad pens? Because you got 150 pens. So that's way more value than if it's $10 or if it's even cheaper
What
than
you
that.
perceive, right?
Yeah.
So even let's go on a bigger scale, right? You don't buy a $500,000 house because you feel like, oh, this house is worth $500,000. You buy the house because you understand that it has potential of growth and it could go from being worth from $500,000 to $750,000 one day if you hold on to it long enough. And then also like the utility of what the home is going to bring you. That home is going to bring you somewhere to come home to. It's going to bring you like years of memory and stability. It's going to bring you something you can put all your things.
Wow.
Even though it's quite a bit of change, but even then, on a higher scale, no matter how big that offer is or how much you pay for it, is normally like something that is like you feel silly of saying no to.
Nah, that's good. So how should we create our irresistible offer first, or are there smaller offers that we can create first before we get to that big one?
Yeah, what I would do is basically develop. If you have so we all problem solvers.
Mm-hmm.
We're all always solving problems. How do you solve the problems with the least amount of work possible? So, like for instance, let's say the problem that the NBA solve is entertainment, like something to do on their downtime.
Mm-hmm.
At the very, very base level, they could offer a solution of, hey, we have a game, you could watch the game.
Yeah.
You go watch the game on NBA TV, or you could watch the game on their app or on regular television or TNT. Like that's at the very least. You don't have to leave your house. You don't have to purchase anything to watch that one game. It's already on TV because you already purchased it via your cable provider or from the NBA directly.
And then the big offer.
And then the bigger offer is what you do is you just add more things that'll be like bells and whistles and worth their while. So like for instance, going back to the NBA experience, right? You have the game. The game is on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's watching this one game, whether you're in the building or you're not.
Yeah.
So like the way that you look at it is by the access that you have to whatever the offer is.
Okay.
So like for NBA, right? The same person that is watching the same game can watch it in the nosebleeds for like 50, 60 bucks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're still watching the game.
Yep.
You're still there in person. You're probably going to buy some food and drinks and stuff like that too. So, they made some money off of that. But when you get closer to the court and closer to the court and closer to the court where you're on floor seats, now you have a $20,000 product, $10,000 product, $50,000 product, depending on what type of game it is, who's there, and stuff like that too. So the closer you get access to whatever that main thing is, when you start adding the bells and whistles and things of that nature, make it worth your while. That's how you segment it from the minimum value offer all the way to a premium offer.
So we got step one in order for us to build our brand would be to, get internal, right? Create like the brand statement, identify like exactly what it's about. Then we create a irresistible offer.
Right.
Signature offer. Is that both?
Right.
Okay. Then what we do?
Yeah, so after you got that, now it's time to test the product, put it out there.
Okay.
So like, have you seen Snowfall?
Snowfall.
Oh, do you know what that
That's
is?
the show, right?
Yeah, it's a show.
Yeah, I think I did see
Yeah,
that.
so basically, the show is about pretty much in the streets of California doing like the crack cocaine epidemic in
Mhm.
that era, and basically they were showing how it first started and how before like it was a market for crack. What they did was they made some and they just had people try it out to create the desire, and they gave them their best stuff.
This is the TV show, or this is real drug.
Both. It's based off of real.
Okay.
So he didn't give like when they was giving like samples, it wasn't the like washed down version of this. It was like their best stuff,
Mm.
and they gave it out for free. The first one was free.
Okay.
It's like, oh, I need to get that again. So when I come back, now you gotta
Pay for it.
right now you gotta pay for it. So like in your own business, like it's always something to learn, and even in the the negative stuff. When there's no demand, that's when you start offering these things for free. That's when you start maybe on a discount or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
So you create that market or you don't even create the market because you don't really create markets. You just get in alignment with whatever your market is.
Yeah.
Like traffic already exists.
Mm.
You just have to find like, all right, like where's my people at
Yeah.
when it comes to traffic? Once you find that, let's funnel them over here.
So do we jump into other people's traffic, or do we like try to create our own traffic?
Yeah, absolutely. You take from other people's. So like somebody that's similar to you,
Mhm.
even if it's adjacent. So like for instance, if I want to get going back to the NBA example, right? If I want to find more non-NBA people to watch the NBA, how do I do that? Right.
Yeah. You might have to go to other
So
NBA people.
well, you'll do it like this, right? So you start to look at the common interests, your what we call like your client's avatar. I call it your core fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
So like somebody that's an NBA fan, what else are they interested in? When they in the arena, they play music, they have like movie references, all these things, etc.
Mhm.
So if you want to get people that have never watched an NBA game or not really NBA fans, you want to get them interested, you do what like the NFL did. Get Taylor Swift to come to the game.
Wow, that's smart, yo.
Yeah, you take those like interests that is adjacent with the people, and then you bring the traffic from those particular situations to go ahead and grow your brand.
How about like on a smaller level, like a new entrepreneur, somebody
Right.
that's just starting? How could they still apply that same
So give me
thing?
an example of like an entrepreneur that's selling something like an industry like.
Someone who just wrote their first book.
And what's the book about?
The book is about living a purpose-driven life.
Okay, cool. So you got an entrepreneur. They have a book that's about finding your purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's look at other people that do something similar to you, right? They might not do exactly the same thing that you do, but let's actually write down 50 to 100 names of people that do something similar. So this could be Eric Thomas. This could be Simon Sinek. This could be Leon Lewis. This could be like a David Shands or whatever the case may be. And what you do is you go on those different platforms and you engage with those platforms. You go on their YouTube pages, their Instagram, TikToks, stuff like that. If you're, let's say, if you found something that was similar to what you said in the book or whatever the case may be, or you can react to one of their videos on your YouTube page and then funnel people over to your book because it's similar,
So because if they like that, then they'll like, that's dope. So the testing, because sometimes I hear like, you got to charge all the time, like don't do nothing for free. But like the Snowflake, like you were saying, they kind of just gave it away at first, and then people started to come to them. So is the testing process only free, or is there money attached to that process?
It can be. It just depends on what your offer is. But like for instance, it's an entrepreneur's name, Dan Henry. He had released, it was like a course, and he was just trying to try out the idea. And he did a couple different things. One of the things he did was it's going to be a live training. If you want to join this live training on how to do X, Y, Z, this is what we're going to be covering. All you got to do is pay whatever you want.
Like any price? They could just put any price?
Any price. That's one way to do it.
Was there an option to not pay at all?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, you pay whatever you want, and that way you do get something back. But you also get a chance to test your idea, see if it works, and see if it's an appetite for whatever you're trying to put out to the market.
I like that. I think I'm going to steal that. So step one is the the brand statement.
Right. Internal.
Internal. Step two is the signature offer or
Yep.
the other kind of offer,
Irresistible.
irresistible
Like how?
offer.
Yeah. Building the offer.
And then still step three is the test run.
Right.
Okay. I need you to give us just two more steps because we're not gonna keep you
For
long.
sure.
I just want you to give us a little bit real quick. So give me two more steps.
The next step will be after you kind of develop and you're seeing something work or whatever the case may be. Let's take that data and now let's create what I call the client journey.
Mm.
So how do we create a process where people can be aware of what you got going on? Not only aware when they're interested, how do we capture data and information, meaning emails, phone numbers, things of that nature, address, whatever. And then once you have their information, once you're ready to drop and you're ready to communicate with them, where are we leading them to? Do we have a Shopify link? Do we have our own website? Do we have a landing page? Or whatever the case may be, so we could capture order. And then once that order is captured, how do we deliver the product where they're getting more than what they paid for?
I like that.
And the last part, after the delivery, how do we get them to come back? Like setting up a system where it's you're just sending them down the conveyor belt,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have them start back over and come back.
I love that.
So that'll be the next is developing what that client journey looks like for your business.
All right, so give us the 5 steps again. Step 1,
Yep.
statement, brand statement.
Right.
Step 2, signature offer, irresistible offer.
Right.
Step 3, test run.
Right.
4, client journey.
Right.
And 5.
And 5, I would say it'll be a combination of these things. But now it's time to launch.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also now it's time to package up your offer now too. Like,
Okay.
how do you package it up, and what does that mean? Like, how do you put it all together, brand it in a way that makes sense with your alignment of your branding, and also how do you like what is the look and the feel of it? Like now we starting to get with the fun stuff, like choosing the colors and make sure like when I see something, I recognize that's what it is, because that's what a brand is. A brand is something that you can identify something with, like taking it all the way back from the essence of what a brand is. You had cattle over here on belong to Joe. You got cattle over here that belongs to John.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know which cattle belongs to who? Nah, that's my cow because it got that thing on the back. Nah, that's my cow. Like, we talking about the same cow. Like, how do we differentiate? So what they did was they had these, they created like these branding with like a metal, some type of metal mark. They heated up and they cast it on their cattle. So now it's like when you see that horseshoe or when you see that design, that belongs to John.
Wow.
So
And
just something easy where you can look at it, you like identify where it belongs. So it's a little bit of logo.
Mhm.
Don't always have to be, but a little bit of logo, a little bit of consistent colors,
Mm-hmm.
consistent aesthetics, and the feel of how you communicate as well. Like all of these things have to be consistent. So like when you see, when you think of, let's say Chick-fil-A, give me some words that just kind of pop out.
Oh, the thing they say every time you buy food, they're like, is it like please or thank you or
Yeah, my pleasure.
my pleasure. That automatically sticks out.
That's
yeah.
messaging. That's branding.
And then also like the logo is like the little chick thing. As a matter of fact, I was driving today and like I was like 3-4 blocks away from like Popeyes.
Mhm.
But like all the way from where I was from, I was able to like see Popeyes. Like that was the only thing that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of made me like want Popeyes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like it's something they're doing with their branding and their colors
Mhm.
that just caught my eye. You know what I mean?
And
So-
as a brand, that's what it should feel like and look like.
Mm.
Like your brand should pop out on the shelf. How do we do that? We go back to the steps.
All right, bro. Listen, I just wanted you to give us a little bit
A little bit.
because I know that you have a lot of info for us. You
For
give
sure.
us so much. You have helped me tremendously. You are my brand A&R.
That's a fact.
So I definitely want to have a part 2 with you, but I just want you to tell people how they could reach you, and also like anything that you got coming out or you have that they can tap into. So
Yeah, so I've been on a little social media sabbatical, figuring some things out on the back end. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, It's PRRDBYPACK, produced by Pat. And right now, I got some things I'm working on behind the scenes that's going to be really creative. I'm looking forward to seeing those things, touch the market and getting back to helping people out here. So
Let's go. Listen, purpose over everything. I hope you learned something from this, because if you have a brand, if you have a business, if you want to start a business, this guy right here is the person that you need to be tapped into. Thank you for everyone who watched, and I'll see you guys soon. We out of here, man.
I'm free. I'm free. Won't let the enemy get the best of me. And I'll be what you created me. This is my destiny.